Where can I catch?
Yeah, and I
can't. So let's see. I'll pick it up and look at
And I know your last name is Wendland.
it. Yeah.
I'm Jennifer.
And
Mike and Jennifer.
Mike.
There we go.
Looks like it's level.
Okay.
Okay. It's recording?
It's recording.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Judy Howard and I'm here with two authors on the road, Mike and Jennifer Wendland. And thank you for being here. I was hoping you can tell the people out here in RV land what Authors on the Road is like, what the life is like.
Well, it's great because you get to see the entire North American continent. You get to stop and visit with interesting people. You get to learn the history of the land. You experience it all firsthand, and then you get to tell everybody about it.
Sure.
And the telling is as much fun as the seeing.
Yes, it is.
It's a dream come true to get to see this country, take your time and just enjoy it, and it really is great how many interesting people that you meet.
Yes, we are living the life, are we not?
You know, most of my life, I've been a journalist for all my life, for 40 years, all over the world, covering crime and corruption, and that was my beat. And so I found myself becoming very cynical, and that's never good. Skepticism's okay, you know, not to take everything everybody says, but cynicism kind of rots you from the inside. And so when I left that daily world of journalism, we wanted to go back out and see the places that I've been as a reporter, but see them as they really are, not as a backdrop to a TV stand-up. And so we started traveling 5 years ago and started a blog, and that has turned into a podcast, into a YouTube channel, and into a newsletter, and it just keeps growing. We get to tell the stories.
Well,
good
that's
stories.
Yeah. I always get excited when I see someone who has your background, because as an author, all of that material is just fodder for the mill.
It is.
So,
it is.
You're here in Indianapolis, and you did a seminar here?
I do a couple of seminars. One of them is like what it's like living. We have a small RV, a Class B RV. It's a 24-foot camper van, really. But it has everything we need. It's got a king-size bed.
Everything we need. We've got a good sized refrigerator, a convection microwave oven, full bathroom. It's everything you need.
And the internet.
Parks in small spaces. We don't need. We can boondock. We can go in the middle of nowhere, spend the night. It's fun.
Yes, and you are full-time as well?
No, we're not full-time.
Okay.
We're probably over half-time. We have grandkids that we have to make fixes for. We have a sticks and bricks home in Michigan, but we're on the road over half the time, and then we touch base and head out again. And a lot of stories that we tell. We try and tell interesting people and places. And
yes, I checked out your blog yesterday, and fantastic information, well said. I can't say enough about your writing, for one thing. So yeah, it's I don't know what else to say. Back in the day when I had a house and a business, and I was beating the carpet to try to make all the money I could, I would look down my nose at people who lived in a little van. Yeah. Or a little motorhome like me, and I have been in it for 6 months now, full time, and it's amazing because you just do not need anything else. It makes life sweet.
There's a sense of freedom out there.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing that for us as we've traveled and as we write, most people, particularly now, it is such an ugly time in our country. Everybody is angry at each other and yelling, and you would read the news and you would think that this nation is pulled apart and fallen apart. But then when you get out there, you realize that it's not like that at all. Mm-hmm. We're in the midst of a community of about, I guess there's close to 2,000 RVs here, so 4,000 or 5,000 people. They're about as diverse as you can find, politically, religiously. They're just about as, from one end of the spectrum together to the other, but they're all together in the sense of community and this shared experience of traveling and seeing this great land that we live in. And most people, you know, most people are living their lives, doing good things, caring about other people, and you would never know that if you just read the news.
And I wondered, since you started RVing, if that surprised you from a journalist's career or did you see it before?
I think we saw it before. We did a lot of freelance television. Jennifer and I are both Christians, and so we tend now to have a better view of life than we did before we were. But I think we suspected it, and when I left daily journalism, it was this was in '98, it was just starting to get really bad.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, for most of my life, I was very proud to say I was a journalist. I would not be proud today to say I was a journalist, because the environment and what they call journalism today is anything of what real journalism is. I just suspected that it was a lot better out there than what we were saying as journalists, and I was right. It is a lot better out there in this country.
It's a shame journalism is in trouble, big trouble, in my opinion.
You mentioned earlier, we talked earlier, and you know, we are losing touch with who we are as a nation, as a people, and this generation that we're all in is rapidly fading. And I fear for our kids and our grandkids, and we have a lot to tell them. That's why writing is so important, to tell that it is a good land, and most people are good, or at least trying to be as good as they can.
One of the reasons I encourage people to write, and I meet 80% of the people who have thought about writing, so when we have interviews like this, to realize that you people out there, if you've thought about writing, you can do it.
Yeah.
Of course you had it all your life, so I mean,
I started writing, it was the Hardy Boys mysteries. When I was a kid, I had read every one of those 46 books or whatever they were at the time when I was a kid. By the time I was 10 years old, I wanted to write, and I sold my first story, sold it as a paid author, $25 from Boys Life magazine. I was 12 years old. I started at 13 a neighborhood newspaper, and it was back in the days of typewriters. Remember typewriters? And carbon paper. And I would put the thing, and I'd have to type it really hard to make a copy. And I remember my first headline. I was 13 years old. Why it's not a noise? Let that go. What is that?
Lawnmower.
Lawnmower.
Lots of green grass here.
My first headline was Lappins. They were my next door neighbor. Lappins get new car. That was big news in the neighborhood news.
It was.
And I worked my way through high school at a local radio station, and then I started working through college at a weekly newspaper, and then
you also had a neighborhood radio station.
I had an illegal radio station. So my whole life I've wanted to tell stories. I just wanted to experience things, see it, and then tell other people about it. And I'm still doing it. In fact, more now than I ever did before.
And to me, it's the feedback that you get from your writing that inspires you so much.
It does, and it's so, for us, social media is such a great tool. Facebook, and we use Facebook with our people. We've got on one of our pages 400,000 likes that follow us. And it's immediate. You can react and talk to them. We started a YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel has just really taken off, and people ask questions, and I mean, it's immediate feedback.
Right.
And so you write something, you really right away know if it resonated with somebody, and if they didn't. Jennifer's been a producer for me. We've worked together, and that's really neat. As we travel, we've traveled the world as doing television, freelance television, and now we get to do it on our own, whenever we want to go, wherever we want to go.
So where are you headed after this?
Well, we've got, we started off organizing gatherings, where we will get, goes the lawnmower the other way. We'll start, we do these gatherings where people will show up, and we'll usually have a theme. The next one we have is in Jackson, Mississippi. It's a blues and barbecue.
Oh.
So we've got some local blues. We're going to learn about Delta blues and the Mississippi Delta, and then we're going to have some great barbecue. We do a fall color tour with a group of people. This time we're going to be upstate New York. We just finished a photo safari that we do every year up in Glacier National Park.
Oh, I'd
up
like
that
to
way.
be following you. You sound very
Oh my gosh.
inspirational.
We do a winter camp out in January with 2.5 feet of snow in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and about every month we have one of those gatherings someplace.
Cool. And I don't want to miss out on you. I want to tell the folks what it is like to be married to a biker.
It has been a grand adventure. Mike and I met as 17 and 18-year-olds.
Okay.
And we've just had a great deal of fun. He's always had a passion to write, and I have had the freedom and ability to help him with the details.
She
Yes.
typed out my first
his
book.
first book, I
Yeah.
typed out the
With our
manuscript
kid
by
at her
hand.
feet. Yeah.
You know, because there weren't computers then.
Yes, yeah.
So we've had a ball. I've always loved traveling. I've always been curious about the world. I've wanted to go all these different places, and we have been fortunate. We've been to Africa and the Middle East and all over,
Yeah.
and it has been a grand adventure. And people are wonderful. I don't care if it's small town America. I don't care where I go. I find it interesting.
Yeah.
And I love being a journalist, where you stick a microphone in somebody's face and say, tell us the deepest things of your heart.
Yeah.
And people do. People want somebody to listen.
And you're
it's
always-
wonderful to tell good stories.
And you're always enriched by that
Yes.
experience,
Yes.
because people share things, their lives with you, and you learn and you grow as a human being.
Yeah, I've heard it said that the voice is the sound of the soul. And
very good line.
it
Like
came
that.
from it's gonna turn around right here. Around that tree. There's an application, a new application called StoryCorps.com. Have you heard of that?
I have, yeah.
Another way of interviewing people, but that's what I have discovered is no matter where you go or who you meet, they're all cool people. People are basically good people.
Yeah.
And that's not shown in the media, and that's why the biggest question I get asked is, are you ever afraid? Because I travel so much.
Yeah, no, it's there's not much to worry about out there.
No.
It really isn't. I mean, maybe in a big city, if you are foolish and park in the wrong spot or part of town, but just following your own gut and following your own thing. If it doesn't feel right, just move someplace else. We just
Yeah.
turn the key and go somewhere else.
Yeah,
So that's
which
what
we should have done in this interview.
Yeah.
Anyway, well,
Here
it's
it comes
been,
again.
it's been
Here it
great
comes again.
talking to you. I hope to meet you folks again along the road somewhere.
Well,
Thank
we'll
you very
follow
much.
each other on the blog.
Definitely.
Thanks for having
Definitely.
us.
We'll stay in
Thank you.
touch.
That was
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you, Judy.